Patrick Bailey with IQlist.com. Today is May 6, 2022, and in this video I'm going to show off a Naruto Kunai knife that I converted into a fridge magnet. Okay, here's the Naruto fridge magnet. So I'll go over, I don't have the details in front of me, I forgot whose kunai knife I got, but I'll show that here a little later. So I took another file where someone put a kunai knife up, but what they had done is they'd split it in half. Because if you're going to do this, you'd have to print both sides like that and then glue them together. But I thought, why not put them together in open scad, angle it a little bit, and then put a fridge magnet in it. Now, a couple of problems with this that I'm discovering. It works pretty well, and the files are out there. But one thing, it's okay for a fridge magnet, but this could be a little sharp. But I don't think you're going to hurt anyone because it's just so small. You're probably okay. Another issue is I'd like to change the color. So I'd like to have the handle a different color. So I'd like to go black, white, black. But to do that, you'd have to thread it in. Now, well, that's one option. I could make a thread here, do them separately and connect them. But if you're doing threads, the problem is if I turn this and thread it in, I need this ring to line up. And that's a difficulty. So I'm working on an idea. I think I almost have it done. That'll be another video and some other stuff where I can actually line that up. So there might be a Kunai Magnet version 2 coming out. But in the meantime, it kind of works. Let me go show you. We'll go stick it on the fridge. So, my daughter already stole it from me. So if you want to look like you're stabbing your fridge, it works pretty well. Okay, let's go over some of the details of it. Okay, first let's show some URLs. So I got the original file for this from Val. So I'm taking his model and adapting it and changing it. So it's a nice model. So as we go over the OpenSCAD, I'm using his model. So if you want to tweak what I've done, you need to go download that. Now, on another note, I am working on another kunai knife that's completely done in OpenSCAD, but that's another video, another day, another story. But here it is on Val, and I'll put the link in the show notes. Here's mine, adjusted to it to make it into a fridge magnet, like it's stabbing in the fridge. And then here is the OpenSCAD I put out on Github, so you can go download that and check it out and tweak it. But let me go over the numbers now, and then we'll go in a little bit into the OpenSCAD. So, this guy takes 5 hours and 19 minutes to print. It takes 5.1 cents electricity, and it weighs 0.052 kilograms, but it has a magnet in it that weighs 0.024 kilograms. So it actually weighs 0.028 kilograms worth of filament, and at $20 per kilogram, that comes out to 56 cents. But then you got to add the magnet in, the price, which is $2.40 for the magnet, and the total comes out to $3.02. Oh, and also I'll put a link. Oh, I forgot to put a link here, but I'll put a link in the show notes on the magnet I'm using. There's a magnet I keep buying over at Amazon. It's a strong magnet. It's a good magnet. That's kind of what I base most of my well, I shouldn't say most. All my designs right now are based on this magnet, and it works because I like it because it's strong. So all in, hopefully I said this, all in $3.02. I think I said that, but all in $3.02. So with that, let's go look at the OpenSCAD here real quick. In which the OpenSCAD is pulling in that file, so you need to pull that file in. So first, let me kind of show you what's going on. I'm not going to go into great detail on this. Maybe I'll do, I'm working on another kunai knife, so I might do a whole video on that, going and recreating the more complicated one. But here, if I go here and I import, let's re-import this guy. We'll comment that out real quick. So I'm going to leave this one up, and we'll import this one again. We'll make this color red so we can see the difference. But here's the Kunai STL file. I'm pulling that in, and what he did, it's only half of it, because if you can't print this very well on a 3D printer at all, so he cut it in half. So the idea he had, I guess, was you print it flat, stick them together. So let's just do the one, and you can see there is the one flat image. Now what you need to do, and what this file does overall, and I won't go, well, what I'll do is I'll put a second one in here. Now if I put a second one in, it's in the same location, so nothing's going to occur. But I can take that second one and rotate it 180 degrees. And then boom, I got a full kunai knife. Now I can come over here and say union, union that guy. And then I could also take, now that I've got that, I could do a rotate. And let me see. You could say 90, 0, 0. Let's see how that does. Oh, wrong way. Let's try that way. How about this way? I always foul up my rotations. There we go. So now we kind of got that up, and then we could do a translate. Translate. Boom. And we could say, what could we do? We could say 0, 0, 100. Just pump it up. 150. There we go. Now also you'll see my knife is different size than his knife. So I also enlarged it and I rotate it. And also you'll notice here I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rings. And over here I got 4. So what I did is I cut it and then reattached it. So there's some things I did. So, but you can basically see, you know, down here is where I'm putting the kunai knife, adding it, scaling it by 1.45. Doing some translations on it, rotating it, and then, you know, going through here, then you make a cube on the bottom and you do a big difference on that and you cut that guy off. So, and then of course we had to add that space back in for the magnet, which we do just kind of generic code that I have at other places. It's kind of my generic, now it's my generic magnet guy. And up here you can kind of change where you want to do the magnet. So if you have a different magnet, you might want to adjust this magnet code to something thicker or smaller or different, but this guy kind of hangs out so far that you want a strong magnet, so you don't want a wussy magnet, otherwise it's going to fall off, I think. But let me go wipe out those changes real quick. So you can download this, fiddle with it. And also here's a split view, so if I set this to true, and also I just removed that old one, boom, I can split it in half. And the only reason I split it in half is I can see where that magnet is. Now, if for some reason you actually want the magnet to be less powerful, but you're using the same magnet, you can move it further away. So here's that magnet depth, that 0.8. I could make it 1.8, and that's going to move it higher and make it less powerful when it gets near things. That's an option. Or if you end up buying a different magnet that has a different depth, you could change that to a 1.3 or different size. So you could tweak this based on whatever you're sticking in there. But there you go. So there is the wonderful kunai knife that my daughter is all excited about. And since I gave this to her, now she wants an actual kunai knife, which I'm working on right now. I've nearly got it done, and when that gets figured out, I'll probably do another video on that. But one thing that I don't think is a problem for this fridge magnet, but would be a problem with handing my daughter a very sharp object, is that it's a very sharp object. So these angles here are kind of sharp. Against a fridge, you're probably not going to hurt yourself, and it's plastic, but I could see that if you made a knife and you gave it to a teenage girl or teenage boy, they would start playing with it. So I figured out how to dull it on the one I'm doing, and I'll show that in another video. I think it's going to be pretty cool, but more to come, more to come. But with that, let's wrap this one up with a reminder that 3D printing is an adventure that you're on. You can develop your skills and knowledge, and you can take this in so many ways. You can make a business out of this, you can teach others, and you can make some amazing designs. So design it, engineer it. I am working real hard with some ideas on this Naruto Kunai knife. I want to print the handle in a different color, but if I wanted to do the fridge magnet at an angle, as is, that would mean I get a funny angle on the color change. I'm working on something, which I've already mentioned before, where I can use threads to print out the handle, then attach it to the knife. But I need the circle at the end of the handle to line up with the kunai knife. So merely a thread would not work. I'm getting close to figuring it out. So look for some videos on that soon, and some prints on Printables soon too.